how much work these folks have put into their presentations, giving them a big round of applause on and off the stage, critical, tweeting which ones you enjoyed, telling people to follow them, telling people to sign up. And if you can write a blog post, if you have a blog, or if you don't have a blog, go create one. It really helps. The more press mentions and the more you guys spread these companies and the message of what they're doing, I know as a creator myself sometimes, it really helps. Every tweet helps. We have 5 more companies coming up. I just want to explain how the launchpad works. We have so many great companies there. We're going to actually take 2 or 3 of them today and put them on stage at the end of the day. They have no idea who's going to be pulled up. So I'm going to ask the grand jury here, during lunch, go see 10 companies, 15 companies. We'll caucus right back here at 1:30. You guys will tell me which 2 or 3 you think should get on the stage. And then at the end of the day, we'll have them come up during the grand jury session. The grand jury is going to get up at the end of the day and sort of give an overview of who they think are in the running for the awards. And they're going to watch all 40 presentations. So I'll introduce the grand jury later today. But how about a round of applause for our judges who did an awesome job? Really great advice and challenging, but yet respectful, which I think is the right tone. Is 5 and 50 ready? Tyler? My right-hand man. 5 and 50. All right. Okay. We're going to do 5 presentations, and then we're going to have lunch, and I'm going to beg you to go check out those great companies. Hey, by the way, the SimX simulation, which is at simx.stack, Stack Overflow. I got Stack Overflow on mine. simx.secondmarket.com. You can participate. We saw the snapshot before. Stack Overflow trading at $365 was the winner overall, and also obviously winner for the 2.0 competition. Overstat right behind them at $355, and Cabana and UI, you guys had at $220 and $170, and a respectable $195 for Gobbler and Hive Trader. Let's welcome to the stage a really awesome startup, 5 and 50.
So Groupon is awesome. But unfortunately, they've got a few pretty huge problems. You see, a Groupon deal could have up to a 7-month wait period. And only 10% or less of companies actually qualify. And if they do qualify, it can cost the business tens of thousands of dollars. And even then, they might only get to do 1 or maybe 2 deals a year. Now, there has got to be something better than that. We're 5 and 50, and let me show you what we can do. Now, right down the street here at 9th and Bryant is a woman named Jennifer. Now, Jennifer owns this awesome little bakery called Cups and Cakes. Now, I am willing to bet that Jennifer has about 200 cupcakes just sitting in her store waiting to be sold. So how is she going to get rid of those right now? Well, she sure as hell isn't going to use Groupon, right? No, she's going to use 5 and 50. And here's why. It's so easy. She would simply go to our website and in 3 steps get this done. First, she'd fill out her company information. It's pretty simple. And then the next step would be choosing the details of the deal. She can do anything, but in this case, we're going to do free cupcakes. And then all she has to do next is review and approve that text message. And if she likes it, and she probably will, she fills out her payment information and hits send deal. And then all that has to happen, our potential customers wait maybe 5 or 10 seconds, and they get the deal on their phone. And all they have to do is walk into Cups and Cakes, show the text message with their deal coupon on it, and get the free coupon. See, that's what 5 and 50 does instantly. And just so you know, this deal is real. So if you go to 5and50.com and sign up during this conference, we'll actually give you the Cups and Cakes deal. So go and see Jennifer and get a cupcake, because I'm telling you, these are really good. And that's it.
Awesome. We love the concise presentation. 2 minutes. I think you just set a record. Gentlemen, what do we think of the customizable SMS Groupon? Matt, I think you're in the flash deal space with familyfinds.com. What a great company. What are your thoughts?
So perishable inventory, is that what you guys are talking about?
Partially, yes. I mean, that's obviously one thing we can do, but really, you know, any business that has a slow night, you know, if it's a restaurant and they don't have as much traffic as they thought they would, they can
That's what I mean. Perishable inventory,
yeah,
a seat, for
yeah,
instance.
yeah.
Got it. So, I mean, I think that's a monster market. Ironically, I was talking to somebody yesterday about that. I like the concept at a super high level. I think there's, if you think about this deal space in general, that they're not technology, or not that technology is not a part of it, but these are marketing and sales organizations primarily. And so the biggest challenge today, and this would be my question, is breaking through the clutter, because the concept of just a deal, a discount, that's not new anymore, right? And so the cost of customer acquisition is ranging from a lot to enormous. And then I think just in general, getting small businesses, and these are questions, is how do you guys get small businesses to think about you versus Google Places, or you know, it's not just Groupon, it's 100 companies that are in the market. How do they think about you guys? What's great about you guys, or your sales method that gets them?
Well, I'll go ahead and answer that question. You see, we have some pretty huge differentiators. And one of them is that, unlike almost all the other Groupon clones out there, we're not taking any, you know, percentage of, you know, the spends that are going in. All we're doing is saying, you know, for $5, you can fill out that form and send out 100 text messages. You know, double that, send out 1,000 or whatever it is. So that's really appealing for the businesses, because they don't have to go through all the strenuous activity of creating these deals, gathering customers, waiting forever, and they get people in the door in minutes.
Right. So if I have a Twitter account and I'm the donut or cupcakes, is that so, you know, I can tell them, hey, I have 20 donuts left or cupcakes left, so come on down. How do you? Because that's the thing I've been struggling with, is how do you deal with that?
What Groupon has done is they've allowed businesses to get new customers, people that have never heard about their business. There's not a whole lot of value in giving discounts to returning customers, you know, your regulars. And so this is kind of that platform, but just instantly.
Okay.
So I guess a couple questions tailing on that are similar. With like the signal to noise ratio, is there targeting on the text messaging? Because again, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm getting bombarded, you know, 8 times a day with text messages as a user.
So we actually have, it's not up here anymore, when somebody signs up, they'll set the preferences. So maybe I only want to get deals for dinner. I don't want to get massages or anything like that. They can set that, right? Also, unlike, you know, a Groupon or any of those Living Social, we don't send out, you know, 1 deal a day to 100,000 people. We send out 100 deals a day to 1,000 people. So it's very targeted and segmented. I mean, any business that is trying to get people in their door in the next 5 hours, sending out 100,000 deals wouldn't work for them anyway. So the deals are much smaller and they're targeted.
The second question is there a significance to the name?
5 hours and all the deals have to be at least 50% off.
The deals only last 5 hours.
And so, you know, have you guys done any tests where you've, you know, SMS'd 1,000 people that you've identified within a specific, you know, area with an offer and seen how many people you can drive back in within 5 hours?
In limited abilities, yeah. We're still figuring out the technology. We're based off Twilio. We're sending out text messages, so we've you know, stress test that. And we have about 700 users signed up. Again, we've been completely private though, so we've been kind of working with them closely.
And are you planning on launching it regionally, or are you just going to open it up?
We're launching in San Francisco here and in Kansas City, where we're from. We'll be moving to Chicago, New York, and LA here soon.
Got it.
Do you give incentives for like having friends sign up other friends? So help with
we will, but we don't right now.
And right now, the model isn't based on me following the cupcake place. It's just me being in a location saying I'm open to these offers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes sense to have an API at some point that these can be pulled from, because obviously for a service like ours where people are checking in, there's an ability to reach somebody where if I, again, check in at a location, find out the cupcake store is a block away, I want to know that right there. That's another channel.
That's on our radar.
That's version 2.
Awesome. Let's thank 5 and 50.
Thanks, guys.
Well done. And next up is Zep.
Let it be known that we wanted cupcakes. We were.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect opportunity to bring in 500 cupcakes like Red Regan did a couple years ago. Oh, good save, good save, good save. What about everybody else?
Ooh, they know we're the voting.
That looked like a good idea.
Ready?
We're ready.
Hello, everyone. We are from Zep Technology. My name is Joyce. Here's my colleague, Robin. So Zep Technology, we do motion sensor platform for mobile device. Our first product is for iOS device. And our first sport, guess what? Golf. Very obvious. So GolfSense, that's our first product name. It's contained for 2 parts. One is this lightweight device, which you actually wear on any kind of golf you have. Another part is your iPhone app. So Robin also have everything. He's going to present later. Our first GolfSense product is currently still co-working with Apple for our first release. So Robin, please be the position to do a swing. Be careful the front row. Oh, me too. All right, so like anyone you put on the device, you can do the swing like that, and immediately the GolfSense will collect your data real time and transform to your iPhone app. For here, they will transform into a 3D chess, so you'll be able to see your swing from different kind of angles. Very cool, huh? So if you are a beginner, you don't know how to read the data, don't worry about it. We have a PGA coach data already in the device, so you can select one. And then let's compare with the coach data again. Let's look at 3D chess again. So here you can see the blue color is from the coach. If you slide carefully to see the angle to angle, the portrait is quite different. If you start from here, the blue color from the coach, the upswing portrait is on one plane exactly. While Robin's, he's absolutely not professional. His swing is very far away from his body. So I guess he actually lost control during his swing. So if you lost control, you are not going to get a direction at all. All right, besides of that, you can also see some detail to know exactly how to fix your swing. Here, we have actually tempo, posture, timing, balancing, all that. We're showing 2 face angle for this case. So face angle is about how you actually hit the center of your cross step. So that's the way you can control direction for your ball flights. So Robin's doing not too good, so only 30% something. So you had to, when the practice, had to focus on this element to do that. So now, some of you maybe played golf for years. You are going to tell me, this is for kindergarten. I already played for years, I don't need that. But you know what? If you have scored for 80, you want to improve to 79, it's very difficult. So you want to maintain your consistencies. So you can bring the GolfSense, go to the driver range, do your regular routine like Robin is doing. You can hit hard, aggressive for something, but you can also take a break anytime you want. So just anything like you do on the driver range regularly. You don't need to take off the device. You can come back anytime you want. So system will know. They will fill out all the embedded action for you. So by the end of the day, you finish your swim. You want to see how good I do for today's practice. You can go back to your iPhone app again to see how you score for your consistencies. All right, so you see the data, consistency is 96%, which is not too bad. So if you are a professional golfer, you can hit these numbers day by day and try to input to the 100%. So in the way you know the individual of the club and distance, you actually control very well. So you can actually hit your target better and better. But if you are a beginner, I want you to be very careful, because if you do something consistent wrong, your consistent number could be very high as well. So that's why we want to have the similarity here as well. So you can see similarity is pretty low here. It means that Robin is actually do something consistent wrong. So if in this case, he's not going to improve at all. So that's how you want to look at the detail to see the analyzed data. So here we can see the clock speed. So on the coach speed, it's consistent high 120, and Robin is much, much lower than that. So in that way, he's not going to get distance anytime soon. So if you want to practice, you just hit the ball like baseball, it's not going to help. You had to go the driver range, specifically say, I'm going to control my speed today. So those are two examples for beginner or for experienced golfer you can do for that. GolfSense is our first platform. Our technology is able to do for other sports like tennis and even football. You can tie on your foot for that as well. And our platform is going to expanding for Windows mobile phone, Android for mobile phone as well. So whenever you have smartphone, you can have your personal sports trainer anytime you have. So come to our booth, collect your swing data today. Thank you.
Okay, Matt, I know that your swing needs work. Tell us, what did you think?
Yeah, I love that. To be honest, I didn't understand it, the verbal, but I love it.
Thanks.
So great demo, and it just works, right?
Yeah.
So I love it. That's a cool thing. That would be a great gifting thing if I could send that to every hack golfer like Jason Calacanis I know.
Absolutely, yes.
And let them go.
Yeah, one of the clients actually say like they actually go to a golf club very often, and they always go to the gift store. So they told me they already buy all the clubs from all the major brand and ball and accessory and all that. They say, I always go to the gift shop. I don't know what to buy for my client. Especially golf is very useful, the social, like business social, networking like that. So gift is very important business here.
Great.
So they thought it's a kind of good idea to give something for their client too.
Any other golfers on the panel who thought it was?
No golf.
Wow.
I think
On Xbox.
This might be enough to get us to golf, though.
Yeah, no, I think that's the great thing about this. I'm a big fan of stuff like Fitbit and Epic Mix. Is you're putting a game mechanic behind, really a real world thing. I'd love to see a web interface. I'd love to be able to share this on my Facebook.
Exactly.
Whatever.
That's exactly why we're doing that. The golfer can actually share the data iPhone to iPhone and iPhone to app. So they can actually collect, for example, if I see some coach, actually I like the swim and her figure is similar with me, I can actually collect her data, use my default comparisons. Because if I just choose some Tiger Woods, he's much taller than me. If I compare with his, it doesn't work for me as well. Right. So that's how you can actually exchange data from there.
I think it's terrific.
Yeah. We have a question.
I'm not a golfer, but I thought it's great, and I think, the question is, how will it translate to other sports? But that's, if you get golf right, that's a good problem to have. So
I'd love to see cycling next.
Definitely. So the thing is, the reason we choose golf is for the cycling, the action is very similar. It's routine for that, like a Fitbit they do. Running is very routine. So difficult for motion detection is if you speed, you see the golfer, they actually stop doing the spotting as well. So when you want to do motion, very high speed, dynamic, and you probably stop during the swim and you want to start again. It's very challenging for motion detection to do that. So once you actually overcome that, you'll be able to go to any kind of routine sports or game very easily.
Yeah, and what about baseball? Yeah, baseball.
Yes, baseball as well.
Kids,
baseball as well.
Little league stuff for parents and kids.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You got a nice.
Is this purchasable now?
What's that?
No, not yet.
It's going through the approval process with Apple.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
so
what's the price point?
What's that? Sorry?
Price.
The price actually looking for $200 to $300 like that for the golf market. For different kind of sport, it's going to be different kind of pricing.
Question from the grand jury, Mark Pesci.
It looks like you have a lot of verticals that are possible here. Have you taken a look? The first thing that occurred to me was medicine, that this could be used in rehabilitation.
Exactly.
People who have had strokes walk with different pressure on different sides.
Yeah.
Have you thought about this?
Yeah. We actually saw a case for that. Is some of the senior people, they owe like some sports injury. So they actually couldn't bend, and when they're doing that, they wear something like that. You can monitor your posture, change for that. So again, because we are staff, we want to actually provide a platform. It's not just a device or an app. You have to specific for one category, study deeply to see what kind of motion gesture you need to prepare for that. So I just say about we actually be able to do not just accuracy for the motion detection. Also, you want to filter out something is embedded for that specific category. So while actually Robin is do other kind of action, not the swim, the system will know. So what we do on the technology part is actually we collect a motion gesture for the golf. So same for the medical, we need to create another database for motion, for the medical usage as well. But answer is definitely yes. Once you actually be able to control the most dynamic, high speed, high control sports, then the rest of category is very easy to do that.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Next up is Karma Key. Karma Key.
Karma Key. Is that what it is?
Okay.
Karma Key. Karma Key. K-A-R-M-A.
Karma Key. All right. Okay. Please welcome Karma Key.
All right. It's great to be here. How many of you guys have been to a restaurant and you're ordering your food and you're checking out and the cashier hands you one of these paper punch cards and says, join our loyalty program? Or even better, one of these swipe cards that you can never know what the balance is on the card. We know that these are a pain, right? And they get washed and they get destroyed and they get lost and they get stolen. We solve this pain. These are a pain because they are susceptible to fraud. They don't give you any data, and they're expensive for restaurants. Restaurants hate these, so we bring transparency and data to loyalty programs where this has not been provided before. So now when I go to a restaurant, I will see this. My receipt is pre-printed with a redeemable code that I can redeem for points. Now, I can use my mobile app. I can use a dumb phone and text my code in. And as newer technologies like near-field communications or QR codes become more ubiquitous, our platform is designed to integrate with those as well. So now let's take a look. I dial my code in, and boom, I just earned a bunch of points. And I can redeem those points anytime for free food, deals, whatever the restaurant wants to reward me with for being loyal. Now, I get my points, and the restaurant now gets data. This is something that's never been done before. Our app integrates into the point of sale system for the restaurant. So now, let's take a look at Tony, who owns the restaurant. She's one of our beta customers. She uses Karma Key, and now she is filled with all kinds of data. She sees how many customers use her loyalty program. She can drill down and see that, 34% of her customers actually claim their receipts. That's pretty good. And even 2.4% of her customers will redeem those points for some kind of deal or discount. She's never before been able to see this, and she now has metrics to tell her if this is a good idea or a bad idea. As she drills down, she's never before been able to see even simple point-of-sale data like the number of transactions per hour or the average ticket amount. She can see the days, the times of day that her business is fast or slow, and she can use that empirical data to make calculated decisions about her business with regards to marketing. She sees this is what restaurants love most about Karma Key actually, is that we give them demographic data of real customers that come into their store. So she knows the age group, she knows the gender, she even knows where else her customers buy food. She can see how many of her customers, looks like her customers really like to go eat at Subway, and they also like to eat ribs. She can do something with that data. So Tony has her data, and Karma Key provides that data, and her customers can now throw the punch cards away and have a slimmer wallet. We're Karma Key, we're looking for investment money, we're looking for partnerships, and we're looking for UI and UX experts to come sink their teeth into our product. Thank you.
Okay.
So how do you crack the nut? How do you get this going?
How do we get it going?
Yeah, who's your first customer?
Our first customers are restaurants. That's the first vertical. We partner with the value-added resellers of point-of-sale systems, and so they have warm working relationships with the restaurant operators, and so we have a rev share opportunity for them, and they basically hand their customers to us, and we walk right in the door.
Who hands you their customers?
Say that again? Who
hands you, the restaurants hand you their customers?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
No, the point of sale resellers hand us their restaurant customers.
Yeah. But they don't upgrade point of sale systems very often in restaurants, right?
They actually do.
Do they?
A typical point of sale VAR will, about 2/3 of their customers purchase from them at least on a yearly basis. Okay. So they know each other by name, first name. It's pretty familiar relationship.
Is the app, or what kinds of tests have you done? Or have you done a pilot with a restaurant?
Yep, we've done pilot with 5 locations now. They're working great. They love the data. They're able to make decisions. They're able to be informed on things they had no idea about before.
What percent of end users, like, did you have to download the app to
We're still in beta, so we are limited to 100
okay,
that we can release.
Yeah. So I got the question being, like, what percentage of customers need to fill, do you estimate will fill this out? Will fill out or type in the code so you can actually track them?
So as we've done testing, we've actually had a test trailer printing on receipts, even though they can't download it in the iTunes store. And the feedback that we've gotten is that there's been a lot of questions saying, what's this program, what's this code, how can I get involved with it? And it's kind of, we're stemming the tide right now in the restaurants. So that's the feedback we get. As far as percentages, we estimate about 34% will actually download the thing.
So how will you set up your billing relationship with the restaurants?
Yeah, the restaurant franchisees, the single owner operators, they're our customers. That's who we'll set it up with.
There's a lot about this that I really like, and I guess one of the questions that comes up is, well, what's the redemption process like for the? So I've accumulated a bunch of points at coffee shop down the street. How easy, and I think this is something that Groupon and everybody who's trying to solve, like, local, merchant level deals, how easy or frictionless is that, and what does it look like?
It's pretty much the same as Claim, except in reverse. So when I accumulate enough points, I'll just specify on my app that I want to redeem. So I create another unique code that I can just either write on my seat if I'm a sit-down restaurant, or I'll simply show my phone to the cashier and they just dial it into the point of sale.
I think overall, I mean, it's a big concept. It just requires a deep saturation with an audience and restaurant base. And I think that you've got a lot of competitors that are trying to do this. I think a lot of people are approaching it from the check-in methodology right now. Mm-hmm. I think that we all know that this is a problem. I think restaurants see this as a big issue, and if you can get people using it, it's a really big deal. It just does require a lot of saturation.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well done. Let's hear it for Karma Key. Yeah. And next up is Adzer.
Go. All right, so you've gone and you've built an awesome, huge website, right? You've got thousands, maybe even millions of people coming to your site every day, every month. So what do you do, right? You sell advertising. So you've got all these advertisers, they've got money, you'd like that money. So you have a couple options. You can sign up for an ad network. Let's say you go sign up for AdSense. They're going to sell your ads for you, you get the money coming in. The problem is advertisers don't pay ad networks a ton of money. They pay a lot less. So you notice we've got less. And then the ad network takes a slice. So the ad network takes 30 to 50% of that money. And you get a check every month. Maybe it's 20, 30 bucks, maybe it's a couple $100, but it's obviously a lot less than you want. So you decide, I want to sell direct advertising. I want to go to advertisers and I want to sell directly to them. So you go look at a traditional ad server. You get all of the money. Problems are traditional ad servers are either install, so you have to manage your own hardware, you have to have a cluster, you have to hire infrastructure guys, all this kind of stuff, or you have to sign a huge contract. You have to sign a 2-year contract. You have to sign a huge minimum fee. You might have a monthly minimum fee. All of these things, we think there's a better way. So we built Adzer. Adzer is ad serving in the cloud, ad serving as a platform. So what we've done is we've built a best-of-breed ad server that's available for a small fee per 1,000 impressions. So we take a tiny slice just to serve these ads. You do the sales, we can serve the ads. So let me reiterate. It's no contracts. There's no monthly minimum fees, and you pay as you go. So if you serve 20,000 impressions that month, you pay us like $1. So it's whatever you need, you can use. Self-sign-up. So let's talk about what kind of companies are using Adzer today. So I think that's really what's kind of interesting. Stack Overflow is using Adzer. We've been working with them for about 5 months now, and they chose Adzer for a couple of reasons. They chose Adzer because it is really, really fast. We optimized it to be as fast as possible, not to block a page from loading, and to minimize the number of requests going on. If you know the Stack Overflow guys, you know that is very, very important to them. Also, we've made sure that they have all the targeting capabilities they need for thousands and thousands of keywords and tags. They can handle that seamlessly with no issues using Adzer. So I think Stack Overflow is a great example of somebody using Adzer to profit from the business they've created. It's such a great resource. They should be making money from it. Let's talk about another one, Statsheet. So Statsheet is a Durham, North Carolina-based business, just like us, and they've gone and made 300 or 400 sites, one for every NCAA team out there. What we've done is we've worked with them to enable them to sell ads across all of those sites. Traditionally, that's pretty hard with a lot of the ad servers to deal with hundreds and hundreds of sites. Adzer can handle thousands of sites without an issue. And the reason is because we started getting built using ad networks, which is why we can handle all those sites easily. So let's take a look at the app real quick. This is the management app piece. So if you own a site or a small ad network, you would use Adzer. This is the dashboard you would see. It shows you what's going on, impressions, clicks, bookings, how well you're doing. You can jump into campaigns, shows you all the different campaigns you're running, shows you how they're doing, if they're delivering, under-delivering. If you jump into an individual campaign, you see all of the different options you have. So you see that you can target, geo-target, you can do site and zone targeting, you can target keywords, basically all the things you expect to have in a really high-quality, best-of-breed ad server. So we are launching this week. We're starting our public invite beta. So basically, if you go to our site today, you can enter in your email, and we're going to be sending out invites throughout the week and the coming weeks. Our pricing is very simple. It starts as low as 5 cents for every 1,000 ads you serve, and you can self-sign up and get ready to go.
Awesome. Well done. Thoughts on a cloud-based double-click server for 1% of the price?
So, I mean, there's lots of ad servers out there, and why, I mean, the one I think of is OpenX, which I guess isn't cloud-based per se, but it's not that different. Why would I use this versus OpenX?
So we looked at OpenX when we were originally writing Adzer, and there's a couple issues that we found with it. Not to like slam people, but basically they're built to manage like 1 or 2 sites. They're built, they're not built to manage large networks and stuff like that, which we've built into Adzer. Also, if you go to sign up for OpenX, you can sign up for a free hosted one, which is non-supported. It works. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, you have problems. If you want fully supported, ad serving, you've got to go through a process. You've got to go contact them. I don't know how much it costs, but I know if you have to contact them, it's a lot, right?
What do you think about mobile?
So we actually have an iPhone SDK. We've got the ability to pass data up and then serve ads using relevancy, using the iPhone SDK. Right now we just kind of started testing that with a couple people. We're working on Android and everything else.
What's your price per 1,000 ads served?
It starts at a nickel and goes down. So if you're larger, if you're really big, we can go lower than that. But for somebody who comes sign up, if they have 100,000 impressions, they just pay a nickel a 1,000.
Is the competitive advantage is that it's in the cloud and it's sort of easy to get started, or is there other secret sauce with the ad serving platform?
So I mean, I think we're innovating a lot in like how we serve the ads and doing things like not blocking the page loading and trying to serve them as quick as possible and serving anything. So like you can serve JavaScript, CSS, anything can be an ad, because why should you distinguish like it has to be a banner ad? So I think we're innovating a lot in that space as well, but kind of our focus right now is bringing it to everybody and then building from there.
Have you thought about pricing it differently? I mean, that's sort of how all ad servers are priced, is based on an impression basis, but I just think like when you look at the prices in the real-time exchanges, what prices for ads are coming down, some of them are selling it 10 cents per 1,000. So right. 5 cents per 1,000 is actually a huge part of the revenue. Like,
right. And that's,
have you thought about like a subscription, like SaaS model, like all you can eat for, $50 a month or $100 a month?
Right. Yeah, we have, and like we've looked at doing some plans like that, and that's something we'd like to look at in the future. And a lot of our focus too is on people selling higher CPM stuff. I mean, there's people out there selling $10, $15 CPMs. A nickel's a drop in the bucket compared to if you're doing 10 cents, then you obviously can't pay us 5 cents, right?
The world is headed the other way, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
pricing.
right. I think that's unfortunate for publishers, and we want to help try to reverse that a little bit.
Awesome. Well done.
You have a
Let's
question
hear
behind you.
what? Oh, yeah, sure. Just say who you are, where you're from.
Jake Ludington from Lockernome. Question in relation to how does this compete with Google DFP, which is very free, very scalable, and very fast?
So you're talking about, so DoubleClick's not free, but you're talking about DoubleClick for DoubleClick for Publishers Small Business Edition, right? Right, you can do up to 100 million for free. So already most of or half of our customers are doing over 100 million, so they're not in that market. The people who are doing less than 100 million, we're providing a lot of features that aren't in that product. So if you want to do fine level targeting, so advertisers pay the more targeted the ad is. You can only do up to 20 targets with DoubleClick for small publishers. Like with Adzer, you can do an infinite amount, well, within reason, and it's dynamic. You don't have to define the targets ahead of time. You can go define a target and then look back and see what kind of traffic you had for it, and then sell that to advertisers.
Awesome. Let's hear it for Adzer. Okay, our next competitor is in the 2.0 competition. If not noted, everybody's in the 1.0, so this is our second, along with Stack Overflow. In our 2.0 competition, please welcome Jason Nazar of Docstock.
I think they're fixing some of the technical stuff. So just before I start, have you guys seen Glee last week? Did you guys see this? Round of applause if you saw this. Glee?
No.
I'm just letting you know I've completely got Bieber in my head. I got stuck there. It's been there all week. So during the presentation, I just break out like, baby, 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 oh. You're going to know why. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Awesome. It's got nothing to do with documents, but I got Bieber in the head. So we'll start. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. I'm Jason. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Docstock.com, and if you don't know, we provide the best quality and widest selection of documents to help you start, grow, and manage your small business and professional life. And we actually launched over 3 years ago at the very first TechCrunch 40, and we made the cut when we were at TechCrunch 20, so it's kind of cool to see where we've been. So just a couple quick stats. We have 25 million people a month that come to Docstock to find documents and over 10 million registered users. And we've built out the largest repository online of publicly available professional documents. We've got over 20 million of these suckers. And our documents are embedded on sites all across the web. 10 million people a month see our documents there on sites like All Things D and Huffington Post. So who's our target market? It's you all. It's entrepreneurs, startups, small businesses, a long tail of professionals. And they've told us really interesting things. What they've said is that on average, more than half of them search for documents 10 to 30 times a month. So thank you, Dave, SurveyMonkey, that helped out. And they have basically one main question that they ask us, besides wanting documents for free, which is, how do I know that this document is right for my particular business situation? So that's what our new product, Docstock Premium, is all about. You can get those 20 million publicly available documents, but what we've done is we've produced in-house the 10,000 best contracts, guides, templates, and forms with our own lawyers, accountants, professionals. And what we basically said is, what's every document a small business owner and operator is ever going to need to run their business, and we're going to produce the best quality of these documents and put the Docstock seal of approval on it. And we also group these documents into packages, so if there's situations like hiring and firing employees, which Jason Calacanis knows about, or starting an online web business, you can come there and get the problem solved. Plus, I'm very happy to announce today that we're going to be able to include our partner, LegalZoom's 300 high-quality forms in our Docstock Premium subscription product, so you get those documents as well. So if you look at what the product is for Docstock Premium itself, we provide basically custom dashboards and ongoing access to the best quality content, both live on the site, through email. AJ, if you want to switch over to the live site for a sec. And we're basically building out a team of in-house customer support, so you can call Docstock anytime and ask for questions that you've got for help on your documents if you're a premium account member. And then along with the Docstock Premium on the site, we've got our iPad app that we're going to be coming out with in just a couple of days. So if we could switch over to the iPad app. AJ will show you a couple things. You guys are going to see my secret code. It's 8899 if you're curious. If anyone steals my iPad, you can actually get into my code that way. So on our Docstock Premium iPad app, you can actually preview and read all of our Docstock Premium documents for free, which you can't even do on the site in their entirety. You can download and print the documents on the go anywhere. And we're actually going to be one of the very first companies leveraging Apple's new subscription billing. So with your iTunes account, you can sign up for Docstock Premium both through the iPad and on the site. So if we switch back, that's enough of the premium iPad app. Jason Calacanis told me to make sure to do a live demo instead of a PowerPoint presentation. He's like, they'll hate it if it's just a PowerPoint, Jason. It'll suck. I give you a 7 out of 10. So what's our business model? Our business model is pretty straightforward. The other thing this year is we're going to start producing original SMB content articles and videos. So we're going to take a page out of Mahalo's book. So Jason gave a presentation talking about quality content matters, which was very interesting if you didn't see or hear about it. Our business model. We found out something pretty interesting about our users. If they're willing to pay $2 for our digital content, they're willing to pay $200 for it because we solve a vital business need. So the value proposition for you all is simple. You can pay $20 for one document, or you can pay $20 a month, which you can cancel anytime, to get access to every document you'll ever need for any reason. And they're the best quality documents that we put our name behind. So already millions of people a month come to Docstock to download documents. And since we turned this premium subscription on a couple weeks ago, it's gained a very healthy amount of people that are converting to our premium product. Plus, our products are distributed all across the web on sites like Entrepreneur, Inc., Forbes, HP. So we got a special offer for you all today because the proof is in the product. We're going to give you all Docstock Premium for a month for free. No free trial, no credit cards. Go right now to docstock.com/premium/offer. This is only good today. And enter the code DocstockLaunch. So once again, docstock.com/premium/offer. The code is DocstockLaunch. And then let me know what you think about it. Email me, Jason@Docstock, @JasonAzar. Try out the product. Maybe you'll do a little baby, 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 oh. And that's all I got for you. Oh, by the way, Bieber loves professional documents, so you should too.
Wow. Okay. The 2.0 competition, obviously, the bar is a little higher, so the judging should be a little bit more intense. What do you guys think?
I love it. And now I'm also an investor in Docstock, and mainly, as you just saw, I love that guy. He's fantastic.
Which, by the way, I met you at the very first conference. Yeah,
that's right.
I think it's great. I mean, I guess I'd be curious, like, we have freemium models as well. I mean, what pushed you to move to that? Because it clearly wasn't the business model before, and how did you kind of settle on the pricing? Because it seems sort of unusual.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. Docstock started off as a way to find the best professional documents fast, easy, and free, and this is the evolution of our business. And what we heard from our users is, look, it's great that you've got a lot of these documents over here, but just tell us what the best one is that we need, and we'll pay for it. And what we decided is, if we compiled all the best documents that you could access anytime, a subscription service would be most helpful for the users and certainly provide us the most revenue. And we tested lots of different price points, and for a little bit we thought, hey, maybe this is a microservice, and sometimes we still have a debate in the company about that, but honestly, people have a lot of price inelasticity, and they're willing to pay a lot, so we kind of settled on this $20 a month, and you can get virtually any document you need to help yourself in every situation for your business. But we've done probably about, I don't know, 150 price tests so far.
This is a good acquisition candidate, I think, for SurveyMonkey.
I think someone from Microsoft's here, right? Oh, that's right. You're right there.
I think it's terrific. I think it's a nice, logical next step, and it looks like if it's tested well, that you'll do really well with this approach. I'm curious about sort of the globalization of this. Do you do a lot? I don't know a lot about the base. Do you do a lot with international and localized considerations?
Yeah, we have over half of our traffic comes from actually outside the United States. Okay. So certainly most of our purchases right now come from the United States and English-speaking countries, but we have people all over the world buying the product. We have documents that we're going to be producing in different languages.
I didn't realize that. Yeah. That's terrific. Good, good.
If you guys have kind of your 10,000 premium original content documents, do you see a pretty tight concentration on the ones that are kind of most dominant that drive subscription?
It's more of a long tail you'd think. There's certain things that are really popular, things like an employee handbook, an LLC operating agreement lead to a lot of sales, but it's more a long tail than you might imagine. It's not 50 documents that people always buy. It's actually a lot of different business situations they need help with. Yeah.
And I saw you have a question from Jason. You have a partnership with LegalZoom, but they're known for selling documents for like a couple of $100 or $100, and they disintermediated sort of lawyers or whatever. It feels like you're disintermediating them with the flat rate.
Not really. So two things. LegalZoom's first just for legal, and we're not. We're for everything SMB. And LegalZoom helps you complete a legal service. So if you needed to file a trademark, get a divorce, incorporate a company, they see a legal service start to finish, and they do it through an online product that commoditizes the legal service. All we do is provide people access to content. So they have a separate business, which is their forms business, which is a very, very much smaller piece of their overall company. And that's what they've given us access to include those forms in our premium subscription product. So you get that content as well. So we're actually much better partners. There's no competition at all.
You would be lead gen for them, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No one's going to, the Bieber dance? No one's, nothing on the Bieber? Really? Wow.
You get Jason up there with you.
Yeah. I'll pay a subscription for that. That'll be fun.
Marshall Kirkpatrick from Read Write Web. I'm curious what the criteria were for selecting the 10,000 original documents. I wonder how can we have faith that they're honestly really high quality on that kind of scale and not just the Justin Biebers of documents, if you will.
That's a fair point. Hey, that's a fair
point.
question. So first off, as far as how we selected them, we did an extensive analysis over a year of what are the documents people use the most. So that's both by seeing what was searched for most in search engines on our site. I mean, we've now had over 400 million people come to Docstock at some point, so we have a lot of data knowing what people are searching for. And then as far as how do you know it's the best quality, well, that's what we're putting our name behind. So it's a 100% money back guarantee on it. We're producing these things in-house. That's not why we're farming it out. It's also why we're working very selectively with partners like LegalZoom. And at the end of the day, it's your decision whether you like it or not. So you try the product. If you don't, we don't make any money off of it.
Awesome. Let's hear it for Docstock. Okay, if you want to vote and buy and sell and trade the companies, you need to do that right now at simx.secondmarket.com. And we're going to have, well, there you go. There's the early indicators. Looks like Zep is in the lead. We saw 5 companies, 5 and 50, Zep, KarmaKey, Adzer, and Docstock. Which one did you guys like best? Take a moment. 5 and 50, local Groupon, SMS, 5 hours and 50% off. Zep Technology Golf, KarmaKey, loyalty programs on your receipt. Adzer, cloud-based, super uber cheap. Ad serving and Docstock, $20 a month for every document you'll ever need in your life and a Bieber dance.
Nice. I guess I'll start. I really liked Zap. Is that right?
Yep, Zep.
I like Zep. I'm sorry.
Golf sense.
So I really like Zep, and I like KarmaKey. I think KarmaKey is part of a rising tide market right now, and I think if they, there's a lot of friction to overcome, but that's a huge market that if you tap it successfully, that's going to be a very big business, and it could be if they get it right, can be a really useful product for small businesses or any business.
Interestingly, they didn't key off of it too much, but they integrate with the point of sale unit and the providers to put that code on every receipt, right. And you can go to the web for that, or you can go to their app.
Yeah, I like it.
Which one did you like?
I'm kind of with Matt. I think Zep is, like, from the GWOW factor, just amazing, and I love that sort of product. But I do think KarmaKey is maybe a sleeper.
We got a sleeper. I like it. Mike.
Yeah, I agree. I love Zep. I think that's fantastic and complete eye candy, and going in the direction that we're all seeing these devices go. And then I have a lot of ties to Docstock. I'm a huge fan of that company specifically. I think they're moving in the good direction as well.
Awesome, Dan'l.
I like the KarmaKey thing was particularly interesting once I understood a little bit more about their approach. It's could be an interesting, and if they can pull it off in a quick way with licensing in particular, similar to the GolfSense approach, where if they were to do some licensing deals and they could hit scale quickly, it could be very interesting businesses. I did like Docstock as well, just because it's a real problem, and to this the extent they can curate and build a brand around it, I think they could scale quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of don't know anything. I think it's interesting that the Docstock, and I think there's other companies out there like them that started a few years ago as free content sharing. SlideShare is another really cool company, and they're now converting to freemium models. I think it's kind of an interesting trend, and so I like what they're doing there a lot. Obviously, it's not a startup. I agree with these guys. I like the Zep thing. That was cool.
Awesome. And SurveyMonkey, obviously, a subscription-based service that's freemium.
Yeah.
And only, what, $150 a year or $200 a year for unlimited?
$200 a year, yeah.
Well worth the subscription. Drew?
I was actually excited about some of the other verticals that Zep could go into. I think with Meta, just some non-obvious stuff, I think that could be pretty interesting because I think some of the technology around making that super reliable and visualizing it, just the whole package there, in addition to just making your golf swing better or whatever, is really interesting.
Even in manufacturing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of very precise things that in a manufacturing environment that people need to do. I mean, there's a lot of applications for it.
Okay. Comment from the grand jury, Shervin?
I just want to support what you guys are talking about there. I think they don't have to build those apps. They can build it as a platform and let everybody else build apps that tie to the actual device, which would be pretty exciting.
Shervin, you looked at the first two sessions, 11 companies. Are you an angel investor? You're a prolific angel investor in how many companies now? 40, 30, 40?
30-something, yeah.
30-something, obviously a power angel, as we say. Of these 11 companies, have you gotten to any of them yet? And which one do you most want to angel invest?
Yeah, disclosure, I'm in Cabana.
You're in Cabana, okay.
So I can't obviously vote for that.
Yeah, but of the other 10, which one do you most want to meet with about angel investing? Which one would you be most likely to give your money to? Which one would you like to commit to right now on the spot? Come on, Shervin. I know you can do it.
Okay, so I would definitely Zep since I've I obviously in the iOS space, and then Hive Trader, absolutely.
All right, so they got a meeting?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Naval, it's worth a round of applause. Naval, you run AngelList, which is the most powerful way to raise money. Open Angel Forum is right behind it. Open Angel Forum bows to Angel.co in terms of the power of the list, and it's an incredible service. Interestingly, not covered that much. Don't know why. So tell me, of these 11, have any of them appeared on AngelList yet? And which one are you most likely to add?
Yeah, UI, we did a small distribution early on, like the technology, the gaze tracking, and I think they have potential. Hive Trader just went out this morning about
Oh, wow.
about
So
an
Hive
hour
Trader's
ago.
on AngelList?
Yeah.
So that means if it went out this morning, it's done by lunch, right?
Well, these days what we do is we do a limited distribution starting out, go to investors who are very active and show interest in the markets, and then if they get a good response rate, we graduate them out to the entire list.
Got it.
So we do staging, but they just hit the first stage today.
Which one are you most likely to put up next?
I love
Or will
Zep.
you commit? Will you commit to putting Zep up?
I'll commit to putting Zep up there. I think
All
it's
right,
very
that's
fun.
worth a round of applause. Zep is making it to AngelList.
Right, I'll go further. I'll be surprised if I can't get them at least one high-quality investor.
You'll be well. You got Shervin already. So
yeah, exactly. All right, two.
Thanks for the call. All right,
I'm gonna match him and raise him.
I'm going right down the line here. We got Robert Scoble now. Robert Scoble, which one are you going to make a 170-minute video with? We love your videos, and we're certain that you are obsessed with one of these. Which one is most likely?
I'm most interested in Zep and Hive Trader as well.
Awesome.
And Cabana, actually, I think is one of the coolest things.
I was blown away. Bill Warner, here from Boston, runs the Open Angel chapter, is known to invest on the spot. Any of these companies you have an investment in yet, and which one are you most likely to want to meet with?
Oh, you got the list here, good.
Yeah.
I own a restaurant, so the restaurant one is interesting. I get 1 million people saying we're going to do this kind of stuff. They had some interesting new approaches.
Karma Key. Yeah.
Karma Key. Making the apps is Cabana. Yeah, people always say, well,
You'll take the meeting, yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely Cabana. I love that. And my Avid and background with music, with DigiDesign, got us see Gobbler.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Bill Warner created the Avid video editing system. Okay, and now big news. Bill Lee, you agreed to invest $100,000 in one of these startups that you're going to see. You're guaranteeing that you're going to put money into one of them. You're not like Shervin, like you'll take a meeting, but you're guaranteeing it. Shervin actually needs a meeting. So when you look at these 11, was there one that stuck out in your mind that you said, this is an early lead, or two?
At the 2.0 level, I thought Stack Overflow is genius. And at the 1.0, I really liked, I hate going with the trends, but I thought Zep was tremendous. And I also really liked Gobbler.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Overstat.
Wow.
So maybe I'll
Okay.
do more than 100 grand.
All right, there we go. Wow, this is going to be incredible. Let's hear it for Bill Lee for making that amazing commitment. If you're an angel investor and you would like me to harangue you about investing in these companies, I will do it. Thank you to our judges. You did an awesome job. Let's give them one more big round of applause. Awesome. Matt Coffin from Family Finds, Josh Williams from the awesome Goala, Mike Jones from MySpace, making a great comeback, Dan'l Lewin from Microsoft. Thank you for your support. Dave Goldberg from the awesome SurveyMonkey and a pretty good poker player as well. Drew, love the product, as a lot of other people in the audience do, and I'm a big fan of it. And thank you so much for coming full circle as a TechCrunch 50 company and now taking the stage as a judge. That really is very awesome to see your success from those early. I mean, you remember those rehearsals? How nervous you were?
I do, yeah.
I mean, those presentations were a little rough at the beginning, and you actually didn't you crash on stage?
So the Wi-Fi was a little
Yes.
flaky during my demo.
Right. I mean, the Dropbox presentation, we have to pull it up later and play it. It was a disaster. And what an amazing company it's turned out to be. Awesome. So let's hear it for our judges in the 11 companies. Awesome. We're going to go to lunch. One quick thing. When my awesome crack research team, Kieran, Carolyn, and Kate, were doing research on the incubator accelerator piece, they said, hey, we found this incubator in Ghana, of all places. And I said, wow, that's amazing. Why don't you invite them to the event? And they came. And so we gave them a scholarship. We gave them a bunch of tables. And so Streamio, Nandi Mobile, and Retail Tower are out there. Go say hello to them. And additionally, you may not know this, but the conference is run essentially at a break even. A lot of scholarships are given. But the conference has broken even, which is a big deal. Especially since I would be on the hook for the money if it didn't. But it may make a modest profit. We may make a modest profit of $30,000 or $40,000. We're committing to investing all of that money after we reconcile the books into the 40 startups launching today, if they'll have us as investors. And that's going to be the model of the launch event. We're trading short-term conference production greed for long-term angel investing greed. Let's go have lunch and let's go see those companies in the launchpad. Thank you.